Hi, it's Jon Cronshaw here with my author diary for the week ending March the 19th, 2023. I've had a good week. So I spent the first couple of days of this week carrying on with Ravenglass Legends, and then I went to see my family in Wolverhampton. So what we had this week on basically Wednesday and Thursday was teacher strikes. So my son's school was closed, so we went there, my wife, my son and I, to go and see my family in Wolverhampton, stay overnight at my mum's. So that was really good. Got to catch up with my brother and sisters and see my niece and nephews. So that was great. It was like a flying visit really, but it was really nice to see everyone. So really pleased with that. Also, come to a good decision, I feel, about the Ravenglass Legends series. So, what I'm going to do with this, because it is, it's a direct prequel to the Ravenglass Chronicles, I'm going to do it in the same format. So, this is going to be another serial. So, what this means is I will be working on these books as novellas. So, I've basically got, with this, I've already got the first three novellas written. So, the first novel, because of the way I write, I always build towards a midpoint. This is actually going to be the end of the first novella. So I've basically got two novellas for the first book. What was the first novel? Few adjustments in the pacing and things like that to make them satisfying novellas. And then I've already got the third novella and the fourth one. I'm part way through that. So yeah, I'm going through all this. I'm hoping to have about 5 in the bag by the time I start launching them. So I'm just going to do what I did with the Ravenglass Chronicles. I felt a lot of energy when I was doing the Ravenglass Chronicles. I felt like doing them, turning them around in, a month, 6 weeks or whatever, gave me a lot of motivation. I think just getting them finished, getting them out there, moving on to the next one, that's like a really satisfying thing psychologically for me. So that is something that I will be doing with this series. I've got the cover booked. I've had the cover booked for a while, but my cover is booked for April. So I'll probably do what I did again with, the Ravenglass Chronicles is basically I've got one cover and I'll just get the artist to do multiple iterations of that with different text. So that is what I'm going to do. It's quite exciting really because I really enjoy writing in the novella format. I think it is what I am strongest at. And I think, this is a story that can be told. And it depends. Like, this is the thing, I think, with the novels, when you're, like, confined by a trilogy or a 4-book series or something like that, this means that if this needs an odd number of novellas or, you know, however long I need to do it, I need to do it. What the story needs is what the story needs. So I've got big ideas for what the story is going to do. I know what the aims are of the story, I know what the final goal is, but there's still a lot up in the air. So it'll be really exciting to kind of get into that thing of brainstorming what's going to happen next. That's exciting for me. In terms of reading, I read a few books this week. What was it? Prisoners of Geography. That was really interesting. Recommend that to anyone writing fantasy, just about how the landscape and maps and things like that can affect a country's culture progression, how technologically advanced they are and things like that, what their future might hold because of where they are and what surrounds them, that kind of thing. So, very interesting book. Also read one that was just the ultimate history of video games. So this told, I think the book's a few years old now. I think it was probably written about 20 years ago. So it was mainly about, focused on the Atari kind of era and then through Nintendo and Sega and things like that. And it was basically up to PlayStation 2 and Xbox. So, really interesting. I used to really enjoy playing video games. Don't play them anymore, mainly because of my eyes, but also because I think I realised I'd clocked up several hundred hours on Skyrim and was also a frustrated writer. And I put two and two together and realised, if I stop playing video games, I'll have time to write. And it worked. So, yeah. I'm also reading a book called Nemesis, which is in the Horus Heresy, Warhammer 40,000 universe. So I think I started this book at the end of last year, and then I looked on my Audible thing and I realised, oh, I didn't actually finish this book. I think I must have abandoned it after about 4 hours. This is when I was just struggling to get into fiction. So I've got back into that, really enjoying it. There's some really, the series is dark anyway, but I think this is probably the darkest one so far in that series that I've read. Very grim, very gritty. Lots of horrible images to do with, like, there's basically some kind of serial killer thing going on, who likes to make things using bodies, it seems. So yeah, not very nice. I'm also watching a TV show. Started watching a show with my wife called Happy Valley. So this is an interesting one. It's a crime drama. I likened it to basically being a bit of a grim, dark royal family. So I've watched the first 2 series back when it was on. I actually, because it's set in Halifax and Calderdale, which was my old patch as reporter, I actually interviewed the writer for this, Sally Wainwright, when the second series came out. So it's been quite a few years since the last series. So yeah, we're watching the 3rd series of that. Watched the first couple of episodes, really enjoying it. I do like seeing that area, like Halifax and Calderdale. It's got such a unique vibe to it. And I used to really enjoy working around there as a reporter. So yeah, no, it's cool watching that, and the story's good. I think the writing on it is excellent. Characters, some really strong characters in that series. So if you're into, I don't know, British crime drama, I'd say it's probably one of the better ones out there. So next week then, yeah, I'm going to be working on, what was it? Ravenglass Legends. Book 4 it is now, so the 4th episode of that. And I'll start kind of thinking about the bigger story, where I want it to go, what the big milestones are in the story. So I think there's a lot to do, but it's very exciting. So yeah, energized by that decision. So until next time, cheerio.